As you may or may not know, my wife and I just got back from Vegas. It was a great trip. We ate, we drank, we had a blast. But then we got home and looked at the credit card, and I gotta say, it doesn't matter how much fun you're having, $25 for a drink is a ripoff. Frickin' Vegas. I hate getting ripped off, and so do the lads over at Harry's. They spent years watching the razor blade companies rip people off and said, no more. Not all heroes wear capes, my friends, and they want to prove that they're legit by offering you hot dogs a $13 trial set for just $3 at harrys.com/RTG. I've been telling you about them for months, and I'm genuinely proud to have Harry's as a sponsor of this show. I wasn't kidding. The plastic, futuristic-looking crap razors you get at the store are overpriced and they're poor quality. Harry's blades are crisp, clean, and classy. They're the kind of razor you'd expect your grandpa to have on his bathroom counter. And most importantly, they work. Shave after shave, they're so smooth, they're precise. I used to go through the crappy store blades all the time, but Harry's are built to last. And they're not just better quality than the other names, they're more affordable. And they deliver. Just set your schedule, and for as little as $2, new blades, shaving creams, lotions, everything you need, right to your door when you need it. I genuinely cannot think of a reason not to try Harry's. And I'm not just saying this because they're sponsors. They're the best shaving supplies I've ever used. Try them out, and if you're not happy, your shave's on them. And unlike the other subscriptions, they're really easy to cancel if you want to too, which is a nice bonus, but believe me, you're not going to want to cancel. Getting ripped off isn't funny. Switch to Harry's. Get started with a $13 trial set for just $3 at harrys.com/RTG. That's harrys.com/RTG for a $3 trial set. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Remember the Game. It is my retro gaming podcast where every week a buddy of mine and I sit down and geek out about the games we played back in the day. My name is Adam Blank. Thank you so much for listening. This week it is episode 88 and we are talking Mario is Missing. And spoiler alert, this game fucking sucks. Even the music for this game sucks. The music you just heard sounds like a crappy knockoff version of the Mario World songs. I hate this game. And I'm telling you right now, if you liked the Echo the Dolphin episode from a few weeks ago, you're going to fucking love this. And if you thought there was too much profanity in the Echo episode, maybe don't listen to this one with the kids in the car because it gets a little heated. I'll be honest with you guys. I have a couple episodes in the bank where I get angry. People seem to really enjoy them like they did the Echo one. I want to spread them out so that the show's not just a stink hole of negativity every week. But with what's going on in the world right now, I think we could all use a laugh. So let's anger it up. Mark McCue is here. We have a Mario game to talk about. I got incredibly angry. Let's have some fun. Before I do that, you guys know I have to ramble. If you're not interested in the rambling, there's a timestamp in the description box to tell you what to skip to. But I would not skip this because I work really hard on it. Frankly, I probably work harder on this part than I do on the actual video game part of the show itself. So obviously, the elephant in the room is the coronavirus or COVID, whatever you want to call it. I don't want to spend a lot of time on it because you could literally find information about it anywhere from people smarter and more intelligent or frankly dumber than me. There's a whole variety out there. You could find smart people, dumb people, whatever you want talking about it. I feel like it'd be amiss if I didn't address it. I just hope that everyone is staying safe, staying clean, and all that good stuff. Some of you have reached out about my comedy gigs. Thank you very much for your concern. In case you didn't know or you are curious, they are all canceled right now. And yeah, that sucks. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm a little over 4 years into stand-up comedy, and your first few years in comedy, you are the bottom of the totem pole. You're either working for free or you're working for like $50 a night. It sucks, and I'm finally getting to the point where I'm starting to move up the ladder and headline some shows and make some money, and I had a huge opportunity scheduled for this previous Monday, and it all got canceled, but it's okay. Like, there are far bigger problems in the world right now than my hacky jokes. And my notes auto-corrected that to say my wacky jokes, but no, they are incredibly hacky, shitty jokes. I'm fine financially, so thank you all for everyone that has reached out with their well wishes, their concern. A couple of you have, which is really cool of you, by the way, for any of you that have reached out to say, nobody would be offended if I put an advertisement or two on the show to help make some money during the next couple of months, but it's not necessary. It's fine. If I'm going to advertise something, it's going to be because I want to advertise it. And I haven't had that ad reach out. And frankly, I support I count on the Patreon as long as I've got, a little bit, like, honestly, I'm already making enough on the Patreon to make this worth my time. It's just the more I'm making, the more time I could put into it. Frankly, the more episodes and stuff I can produce, but the ads aren't necessary. Getting by just fine. I've got some savings. I have my girlfriend and she's rich, rich-ish, and she'll take care of me and it'll be fine. So, anyway, that's why I've got the Patreon. And I try not to talk about it so much on here. I know, I'm sorry, I had that new ad at the front. It is kind of my job right now, so I don't particularly have a choice. I kind of have to talk about it sometimes. Speaking of the Patreon, welcome to our newest Patreon signups. We've had a couple over the last week. Movie Epidemic. It is a podcast hosted by friend of the show, frequent guest Bradley McCue. Check them out. Thanks for signing up, you guys. And Evan, I don't know, I think I'm saying it right, Refuse. And I'm sorry, Evan, my computer keeps trying to autocorrect your name to say refuse. I do not refuse you. Thank you for... actually, my computer automated your name to say even refuse, and it's actually Evan Refuse. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but anyway, Evan, thanks for signing up. Movie Epidemic Bradley, thank you for signing up. If you would like a shout out every month, access to the 17 bonus episodes we've got in the bank, with the 18th one coming this Monday. For the record, you guys get your question and answers in if you want them answered. I answer every single one. Shoot it to me on Patreon. A chance to win a gift card to the system of your choice, and a chance to vote on a game for the following month's show. Sign up, patreon.com/rememberthegame. $2 a month. There's the plug. I'm sorry, but thank you. And as I mentioned it, new perk for the Patreons. By the time you guys hear this, it should already be set up over at patreon.com/rememberthegame. If you support the show at any level, you can feel free. You guys know I like to interact with people on there. I answer my DMs a couple of days a week. I like to talk to people on there. A lot of you have suggested video games you'd like to hear me talk about on here. So what I'm going to start doing is every month I'll pick a few that I have access to, put them to a vote. The winner I will play, and then I will do an episode about that game on the following month. So just a regular episode that everyone's got access to. So you guys are going to get a little bit more say in the games we talk about now. I'm trying so hard to give you guys your money's worth. It's $2, and I feel like I really got to earn it because I know that times are tough and there's a trillion options out there for your money. So patreon.com/rememberthegame. Stay clean, wash your hands. Maybe we'll clean your controllers because they get kind of gross. And that's it for the serious stuff. Thanks a lot, you guys. Let's get into some fun things. Spotify. So all you people listening on Spotify, we're coming there more. If you listen there, you know that the first 39 episodes of the show are not available on that platform. I screwed up, and when I started the podcast, I wasn't saving the audio files as an MP3. And for some reason, they started showing up on Spotify, then disappeared, and now they're not there anymore. And I am stuck inside with for a few weeks with literally nothing to do. So one of the things I'm going to do is re-upload the first 39 episodes as MP3s so that they will be available on Spotify. That should be done in the next 3 or 4 days. So I'm sorry if it screws with everybody else's feeds. I don't think it will. I ran a trial one with the Star Tropics episode, and it doesn't seem to be popping up on anyone's feeds again. So if they do, I'm sorry. Maybe just re-download them. I don't know, and listen to them again. That's fine. But they're coming. So Spotify, thanks for listening. I didn't realize how popular Spotify was on here. Like, it's like iTunes. I looked this morning. iTunes is 33% of my download traffic. Spotify's 30 now. And by the way, I went in there, like, I've never used Spotify, and I fired up their thing today to see if that was working with the new episodes and stuff like that. Way better setup than iTunes, Apple Podcasts or whatever. Like, I really like that app a lot. So, they're coming. So thanks for Spotify listeners for your patience. Bonus treat while you're all quarantined inside. I got almost 40 additional episodes coming your way. So, also quickly, a couple of you have reached out asking about what equipment I use. I think I'm going to shoot a video in the next couple of days and upload it, just breaking down the gear I use, giving everyone kind of a tour. So if you're interested in that shit, keep an eye on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/rememberthegame. And I might record some more Let's Plays too. They don't get a ton of views, but it's just an excuse to play some video games and have fun. And I have got a lot of fucking time on my hands. So that's all that's all the stuff that's what's working and going in my world here. Let's look at a little bit of news, not too much. Xbox announced a ton of information about the Xbox One or Xbox Series X. The fucking name, like I like Xbox, but that fucking name just jerks me around so hard. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, the majority of this information, just to give you an example, because I don't know what any of this means. The CPU is 8X Zen 2 cores at 3.8 GHz, 3.6 GHz with SMT. How the fuck does anyone know what that fucking means? I'm reading this, and like if I was sitting here with somebody, I would be like, oh yeah, you got to have the 3.8 GHCs with the 2 cores. I don't know. Apparently what people are saying is that it is very popular. And some of the very powerful, I mean. And some of the things that it's saying is that you can it'll like freeze state a few games and you can like pause them and you could like turn the cons, like you could go out, update, do all that shit, come back, and it won't make you close the app, which is really rad. I love being able to like just put a game to sleep and then pick it back up. That's the best. They're also saying stuff like your saves will move from the Xbox One to Series X on games you played on Xbox One will come to Series X, stuff like that. Exciting times, man. It sounds dope. I was looking at it. I saw a couple screenshots over at IGN. They showed one where it was like Minecraft, and they showed what the game looks like from their old, like from the Xbox One system, and then what the Xbox Series X looks like. And it's fucking like really incredible what these games are going to look like. It's every generation. I feel like we're always like, well, they'll never look any more real than this. And I'm saying that again, they'll never look any more real than this. So they look rad. Exciting times. Still no price, still no date. I'm sure that the state of the planet right now is still a massive factor for that, but I'm excited. Nevertheless, I am excited. And PlayStation is finally going to say something, you guys. PlayStation 5, they got news coming, and it's right after I fucking record this. And I was going to delay the episode so I could talk about it, but I figured they'll fuck me and not say anything that I understand. It'll be a bunch more stats, and I won't get it. And you guys would rather hear it from somebody smart anyway. So as you guys are hearing this on March 18th, or whenever you are hearing this, apparently Sony's going to finally at least lay down some of their cards in regards to the PlayStation 5. I'll weigh in on it next week. But I got nothing for you now because I recorded it the day before they fucking said something, because the sons of bitches. And then Nintendo is just not saying anything. They did an indie showcase today, which was pretty rad. I love indie games, man. I'm telling you, if you're not playing indie games, you're missing out. It's like, God forbid, like, why not spend $20 and play a game instead of spending $80 to play a game? Like, some of them look rad. The Enter the Gungeon sequel is coming out today on Switch, which looks pretty dope. I have to think there's a Nintendo Direct coming in the next couple of weeks. There has to be, right? The whole world is quarantined and they're bored and looking for something to do. If you ever were going to advertise your stuff, now would be the time to do it. Come on, Nintendo. But of course, it's fucking Nintendo being Nintendo. So I can't wait to play some of those. That's good enough. You know what? I'm going to wrap this thing. Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck. I meant to do this earlier, dude. I'm so sorry. Shout out to did you not give me your store name, bro? Oh yeah, okay, yeah, you did. Okay. So I got a message from a dude on Instagram. His name is Gavin. I hope I said that right, Gavin. And he works at a retro game store in Ontario called Game Horde. And so it looks like they are in Brampton, Mississauga, and Georgetown. And he said they play the show in the store. And I said, hey, would you guys be willing to put some of my cards out on your counter? Because if you will, I'll shout the hell out of your store. And he said, absolutely. So what's up, Gavin? Shout out to you. A shout out to all of the video game geeks at Game Horde in Ontario. Go in there, tell them Adam said hi from Remember the Game. It will literally get you nothing as far as a discount goes. And I know I keep saying that this thing is ad-free, but those are the types of ads I'll give out. If you'll put my business cards on your counter, I'll give you a shout out. So if you're a video game store and you're listening to this and you play Remember the Game in your store, I know some of you have reached out to me in the past, but I can't find the messages. Hit me up. Fucking yell at me. If you're willing to put some of my cards out on your counter, I'll plug your store on the show. I'm not above that. I won't take money for advertisements, but I'll take video or business card handouts because that's what kind of businessman I fucking am. So anyway, yeah, thanks, dude. And keep your eye out. The cards should be in the mail right away. So you can pop by his store and buy something to play. Speaking of playing stuff, guess what I've been playing? There's my transition, my segue over the last 7 days. I've been playing Horizon Zero Dawn, and that is it. That is the only game I've played in 7 days. Still, I think I'm very close to the end of the campaign. It sure seems like it's getting close to wrapping up. I was trying to get through it last night, but I was falling asleep. So I decided I'm going to try to finish it off today. I don't know how many more of the side missions I'm going to go back for. It was fun while it lasted, but like, I think I've had my fill. Like, a game has got to really get its fucking claws in me before I'm like, I just want to go back and do more meaningless side missions where somebody lost their fucking... Because all those side missions are the same, right? In all those games. They're like, oh, I lost my watch. Can you go get my watch? So you have to go back to somewhere that you've been. And then the watch isn't there. There's a bad guy you have to fight. And then it turns out his boss has the watch. So then you break into his cave, get the watch, and go back to see the first guy to get experience points that you don't need because you're already over-leveled and destroying the game. So looking to finish the campaign, hopefully today. And then I can move on to Ori and the Will of the Wisps. I cannot fucking wait to play that game. I'm so excited to get my hands on it. That's it. That's literally all I've been playing for the last 7 days, guys. That's one of the shortest intros I've given you on this show in forever. But frankly, there's not a lot going on. The whole world is on hiatus. So again, stay safe, stay clean. That was it. That was fun. Let's get angry. Let's talk Mario's Missing, episode 88 of Remember the Game. As you all know, Mark McCue is a very, very good friend of mine. He comes on the show all the time. We've covered some great games. And when he suggested this game, I was a little taken back. I'll be honest with you, because we usually cover good games. And I owned this game as a kid, and it fucking sucks. It sucks. It sucks. It sucks. And if by chance you don't know, Mario's Missing is an educational game designed to rip off parents and get them to buy it for their kids, thinking that it's Mario. And then the kids have to play it because it's Mario. And that's the only game you got because that's the game you got for Christmas. But it's just fucking brutal. It's a crappy educational game. I'm going to cue some more of its awful music. And I'm going to tell you guys all about Mario's Missing that doesn't even have a confirmed release date online because nobody remembers when this piece of crap came out. It just says Q2 of 1993, you guys. Kick back, relax. Again, maybe don't let the kids listen to this one, or do if you don't care if they swear. I don't fucking care. I don't have any kids. Enjoy the episode, you guys. Let's talk Mario's Missing. Here we go. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Everyone that listens to this podcast knows about our illustrious CEO, my dog Molly. But the other silent partner behind the scenes is my wife. And let me tell you, my friends, a 17-year relationship with another person that has to talk to and live with you is a lot harder to maintain than one with a dog. We've had our ups and downs, and as you all know, a relationship isn't all sunshine and rainbows. They can be a lot of work. You get out what you put in when it comes to relationships, and talking to a therapist can be a fantastic way to put in some work. They can help you work through your issues, learn to communicate better, and even just provide you with an ear to bend when you need it. I've talked to my therapist about my relationships, especially when it came to my stand-up comedy career and how much I was away from home, and they helped me work on ways to keep my relationship strong even when I was out on the road. It turned out our relationship was actually better when I was out on the road, but that's a story for another day. And I know, right? Therapy. Who has the time these days? BetterHelp hears you, and they're making it easy. Fill out a quick form online, and they'll match you up with a therapist that suits your needs, and that'll work around your schedule. You pick the meet times, and you can get your therapy fix from anywhere, over video, phone, or just chat. Become your own soulmate, whether you're looking for one or not. Visit BetterHelp.com/rememberthegame today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/rememberthegame. So we're recording 2 episodes today.
Yeah.
And one, I don't want to say what the other game is because I don't know what order these are going to come out in. But the other game is very, very good. And I think it's going to be very popular and well received. And everyone's going to be like, fuck yeah, that was a great episode. And then when we were talking about what other game we were going to cover, you were like, I think it's time to do Mario is Missing.
I am really excited to be here talking about this game.
Why?
Here's the thing. I know that this is one of the games that's on every quintessential bottom 10 of all time.
It sucks.
It's one of those worst game of all times that makes every list. But here's the thing, and I will not apologize for this. I have very fond memories of this game as a kid, and there are still things that I like about this game.
Oh God, Mark. The episode never saw light of day, but so if you're listening to this, I'm curious to know if you'd be interested in this episode. Way back, probably in like the 20s or I think you were part of this.
I was.
Way back in
we
like
talked about this game.
The 20s or 30s. I started recording little like 5-6 minute segments with all my guests about the worst game they ever played. And I was going to make it into like the worst game you remember. And then I threw it away because honestly, it was like depressing to listen to. Like it wasn't even I thought it would be an entertaining, like rant-filled episode. But most of you guys don't get as angry as I do. You're just like, this game sucks, and here's why it sucks.
My thing is, as an adult, I don't play bad video games. Like,
right.
I don't play a game that I don't think I'm going to 10 out of 10 love.
Totally.
And if a game just isn't like if a game just isn't getting me, I'm just like, oh, I'll just stop playing that and go play something else.
Right. Like, and yeah, you know what? I never thought of that until you said it. But you're right. Like when you're a kid, you play what you're given.
Yeah.
As an adult, actually both of us are going through this right now. So here's a semi-plug about a modern game, Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair.
Yeah.
We both bought this game on our Switches.
We both bought this game, and we both were so filled with hope and optimism and dreams.
Yeah, and then like I probably got about 4 or 5 hours in and was like, I don't like it. It's boring.
Yeah,
and
it feels like it's really trying to be Tropical Freeze, but it's not. It frustrates me so much just because the guys at Playtonic. It'd be like if you brought the original like writers for The Simpsons together to write a new show.
Right.
You'd be like,
right.
oh, that's gonna be dope, and then it comes out and it sucks.
Yeah.
That's what this feels like.
It does,
because
totally.
The dudes that work there and the people they have working on their games, they're legends. They're iconic. They've made some of the best games of all time, one of which we're going to talk about later.
Mm-hmm.
But then they make these Yooka-Laylee games, and it's just like, what? It's so hard. Like, it's so hard to, like, get into, and I know what it's trying to be, but it will they'll never capture that magic again.
It just feels flat. It just feels like a flat, flavorless... This flavorless Manhattan. Like that's what it is.
This is 2 Simpsons references.
That's for the Simpsons.
We haven't even mentioned the game we're talking about yet.
Oh yeah, right. Okay, so the point I was trying to make is like by today's standards, if you try like when you're an adult and you've got a little bit of disposable income for this gaming hobby, if you buy a game and the game sucks, you just don't play it anymore. Whereas when you're a kid, you don't have the money to buy games, so whatever games you get are the games you own. Like I think the NES screams that to me because when people play NES games and they have these fond memories of these crappy NES games, it's because that's one of the 5 games you owned, so you played it to death.
So that's all you could do. Like
exactly. And that's where Mario's Missing comes in for me because I owned this game as a kid.
Okay, see, so I did too, and I don't know if you remember. I got this for Christmas one year.
Yeah,
and you remember this is one of those feelings that I miss as an adult because you and I will never feel this feeling again. But do you remember when you're a kid and you opened up a video game and you look at it and you're like, I've never heard of this game before.
Yeah,
but
I do.
I cannot wait to play this game.
It was just such a mystery.
It was like, what is this? And
Yeah.
we'll never feel that again. And that's very much what I got when I opened this game on Christmas morning.
Okay, so me too, because I think that's when my brother and I got it as well. And here is my first gripe of many with Mario is Missing. I guarantee you a ton of parents, I know my mom bought it for this, know that their kid loves Mario. He's got a Super Nintendo. He loves Mario. And then you see this game, and they clearly try to make it look like a Mario game. Like, obviously you're Luigi, and you got to save Mario. And they're like, oh, this must be like the new Mario Brothers. Then that's the only... If they had put on the fucking cover what it was, that it was some crappy educational, no action shit game, parents would have been like, I'm not buying this for my...
I'd say minimal action.
Minimal is generous. It's fuck me. And so they're like, if there was a pie chart of like, what do you like action like in this game, it would be like that, you know, like the memes where it's like that little sliver and then the arrow pointing over to the side telling you what that little sliver is.
Yeah.
That's action.
That's action.
And then the 99.5% are fuckery because there is nothing to do. But people bought this game because they made it seem like a Mario game. They did such a great job of making it look like a Mario game. And it was hot on the heels of Super Mario World.
And it used the same graphics. And it's
yes!
like, oh, and it's Luigi Mario got kidnapped and Luigi has to go after him. How are you not, as a kid, instantly like, all right, we're going on an adventure?
And what's really frustrating is that would have been a fine game if you had just made a 16-bit platformer in the same engine as Super Mario World, but you had to be Luigi and you had to save Mario. It would have been Yoshi's Island. Everyone would have loved it. It probably would have been on the Super Nintendo Classic. People would be like,
it would have been a real Mario World 2.
I was just gonna say that Super Mario World 2, Mario is missing, and it would have been awesome.
Until the Mario Maker games came out, this was the closest that we ever got to a real sequel to that game.
Yeah, for sure. And that would have been great. But instead, you motherfucker. Like, I'm looking at it right now, and like on Wikipedia, genre, educational game. Has there ever been a good educational game? Oh yeah, wait, you like this fucking game?
Okay, no, see, I'm going to say that I like this game because I have fond memories playing it as a kid, but I will acknowledge that this game has so many faults that cannot be defended.
How do you have fun? I played this game as a kid too, and I have heartbreaking memories of being like, I remember playing it over and over and being like, oh, maybe next time it'll be fun. You know what the funnest part of this game is? The very beginning, when you're in Bowser's castle and you gotta pick a door.
Happen?
That's the most. Let's fucking get into explain, because I guarantee you there's a lot of people listening to this. There's two groups of people listening to this game.
People who've never played this game before.
There are people that have never played this game and are wondering what we're so angry about, which we're probably going to spend the next 20 minutes or so telling you. And then people like you and I that got this game as kids from their parents because they saw Mario on the cover and thought, well, that'll be exciting, and then found out it's shit. I never saved Mario.
Really?
No, because it sucked and I gave up okay. So, Mario is missing. For anyone that has never played it, here's your basic story. If I'm not mistaken, because I haven't played this game in a long time. My basic, there's not even a plot. Like, I'm on the Wikipedia page, and there's not even a plot.
You have to go
content.
from city to city collecting artifacts that Bowser stole from Koopa. And Koopas stole all of these artifacts from, like, museums in these big cities.
Right. Okay, so, like, yeah, basically Bowser has kidnapped Mario. And then he's kidnapped all these artifacts and stuff. And Luigi's got to go save them. Cool. They hear that part, and you're like, okay, that sounds fun. Yeah. So then the game starts, and you got Luigi and Yoshi, if I'm not mistaken. You get your riding around on Yoshi.
You get to ride on Yoshi, but the annoying thing about Yoshi is you had to use something called the Globulator. Do you remember this?
No.
Where you have to go around and you have to talk to everybody in the city, and you have to find out where you are. So, like, you talk to people, and there, the menu come out. It'd be, say, where am I, and what is this? And what is this is whatever you happen to be holding that you collected from the Koopa, and they'll tell you, like, hey, that's the painting from the Sistine Chapel.
Oh,
Go bring it back.
So,
or you could say, where am I? And they'll tell you, like, I remember one of them was just like, I would say that if I slipped here, I would say it was greasy, or something like that. And you're like, okay, we're fine.
So that's right, because so you end up in like a city, and then you can bring up like a map of the city that you're in, and they are real cities that you go to, and then there's just like Koopa Troopas just walking around this city, and you have to like just go around and jump on them, and then some of them drop stuff, right? But not all of them.
You have to kill all of them to beat the level,
right? But like
the annoying thing, and they never really explain this to you,
and there's. And like, I'm like shaking, like, and there's no challenge. Like, the Koopas don't hurt you. You can't die. You don't have lives.
The challenge of this game is in whenever you collect an artifact, you would have to bring it back to the museum. And the stupid thing was, you would have to answer factual questions. Like, they'd be like, okay, you have the ceiling from the Sistine Chapel, do you? Well, if you're so smart, what year was it painted? And who did it? And you'd be like, I don't...
And you're playing, this game came out in North America, it says Q2 1993 on the Super Nintendo. So I would have been 9 playing this game. I'm like, I don't fucking know. And apparently if you had read the little synopsises and you would have gotten the answers to the questions you needed.
Like if you asked the people,
but no one's going to read them because you just want to play Mario. And you just have to walk around the city. You know what the hardest part of this game is? It's not answering there goes my dog. It's not answering the questions. It's jumping on the Koopa Troopas, because even that mechanic is broken. Half the time you go to jump on them and you miss
you
somehow.
go through them somehow.
And it's like, you took the engine from Mario, which is based on jumping on Koopa Troopas.
And you
broke it. And you have to ride around on Yoshi.
You broke it.
But
you
Yoshi
didn't even
can't
do it
eat
for
the Koopa
anything
Troopas.
worth it.
Motherfuck. And you have So you end up like you. So if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, because you seem to remember this game better than I do. But like, so off the top of the game, you're in Bowser's castle or something, some castle, and you pick a door, and then it takes you to like a city.
It takes you to a city, yeah.
So then you end up in the city.
5 doors, and then there's 3 levels, I think.
Right. So then you end up in the city, and then you have to go around and you have to jump on all the Koopa. You have to find all the Koopa, which is half the game. Is literally, and like it doesn't even handle like a side-scrolling like fun Mario game. It's almost like a
You're
grid.
on a grid.
You're like a grid. Oh, because you have to go up and down.
You have to go up and down streets, yeah.
So you can go left and right to go from like grid to grid, but to go up and down, you have to get to corners and then hit up to like, and then he'll do this little thing where he like runs on the spot and then takes off up the screen.
Yeah.
But like, you have to be in just the right spot to get that to work too. You could be close, hit up, and it won't go up.
And
you
then
have to.
There'll be cars beeping at you.
Yeah, fuck. So then you and correct me. Can you see where all the Koopa Troopas are on the map?
On the map, yeah.
Okay, so here's the fun game. You're like, oh man, I've mastered Super Mario World. Here comes another Mario game. Okay, go to the sound and then bring up your map and see where the Koopa Troopa is. And so he's 4 grids to the right and 2 grids up. So then you have to go 4 grids to the right and 2 grids up with no bad guys to dodge or anything to hurt you or coins to collect or power-ups or anything. And then jump on that Koopa Troopa. Did he drop an item? No. Ah, well, you got him, though. Now there's another Koopa Troopa 5 squares down and 3 squares left. And you fucking walk over there and get him, too. And then
if he's got nothing, it's like, well, why am I here? Because here's the thing. Even if you return all of the artifacts back to the museums, and I think there's 3 in every level, even if you do that and you leave one Koopa like still alive and you try to go back to the castle, it'll be like city was not secured and you have to go back and do it all again.
And it's nothing fun. And then like you said, so you have to kill all the Koopa Troopas. And then you get all the artifacts or the artifact or fucking whatever. And then you have to go and answer trivia questions about the artifacts when you return them, right? That's what it is, right? Instead of them just being like, oh, thank you so much. You found the roof to the sister chapel or whatever the Sistine, I know what it's called. So it's like, oh, thank God you found the roof to the chapel. Here's a reward. They're like, oh yeah. And it's like, motherfucker, I'll take this thing and give it back to the Koopas that I haven't killed yet because they're walking around this boring town.
Apparently it's impossible to return the fucking Mona Lisa back to the Louvre or whatever it was.
It makes no fucking, and that's, okay, so like, is that the whole game? And you just do that with all the different levels?
You do that 15 times. And then the game's out. And then you don't even... you get little mini bosses in between, but they can't hurt. So you go back to the castle when you got all 5 doors unlocked.
Right.
Then one of, the Koopa kids comes out and starts attacking you. But they can't hurt you. There's no lives. There's no way for you to take damage.
Oh, my God.
So you just have to jump on them 3 times. And then you beat them, and it's like, well, you can't. Why can I do damage to them, but they can't do damage to me? What is the challenge in this boss fight? And you're like, all right, so you go do it 5 more times, and then another boss, and then 5 more times, and then another boss, and there's not even a final boss after that. You just go into Bowser's castle, and there's an animation of you pulling a lever, and then Bowser falls into a cannon, and then he gets shot up, and then Mario and you are like, hey, what's up? And that's the end of the game.
Oh my God. Why are we talking about this? Why would you're one of the most requested guests on the show. People are always like, hey, I really enjoy the episodes with Mark McCue. I'm like, yeah, he's great. He loves his video games. And then I just leave it up to you. And I'm like, yo, what games do you want to cover? And you always come back with some dope ones. And then you were like, Mario is missing. And I'm like, well, I think that game sucks, but okay. And now we're sitting here and my dog's scared of me because I'm just getting angrier and angrier at what an awful game this is.
I would not be able to leave here today if I didn't mention this, though. I think that this soundtrack is one of the easily top 5 soundtracks on the Super Nintendo.
That's why we're talking about it.
We're talking
this
about
fucking garbage game with stupid questions for idiot kids that can't...
With a banging soundtrack.
Oh, I
still listen to this soundtrack just by itself.
There's no cameras on the show, you guys. I literally have just been, every time I'm not yelling into this microphone, I'm leaning back in my chair, just shaking my head. I hate this game so much. Listen, here's the synopsis. Here's the synopsis off Wikipedia. In the game, Bowser, King of the Koopas, has relocated from the Mushroom Kingdom to the real world, where he has set up his headquarters in an Antarctican castle. Bowser plans to steal...
I just learned that Antarctican is a word.
Me too. I don't even know if I'm saying it right.
We're learning already, Adam.
Bowser plans to steal the Earth's treasures with the use of the passcode-operated remote transportation.
Which none of this is actually explained in the game.
No, and Lars... Okay, Bowser plans to steal Earth's treasures with use of the passcode-operated remote transportation and larceny system. Portals is what it's called, which allows his Koopas to teleport anywhere in the world. Bowser plans to sell the treasures to pay for enough hair dryers so he can melt the ice of Antarctica. That's his plan.
None of this is explained in the context of the game.
No. Although it wouldn't make it any better if you'd be like, oh, wait, so I have to go around and answer all these trivia questions to stop Mario or to stop Bowser from selling treasures to pay for enough hair dryers so that he can melt the ice of Antarctica. Greta would rip Bowser apart.
How dare you?
How dare you?
You're ruining my dreams.
Fucking Bowser, you started the whole global warming. Bowser captures Mario to prevent him from foiling the plan, and it is up to Mario's brother Luigi
That's smart of
to
him.
save him.
That
smart. Part is smart.
That's a smart plan.
But even oh my god. So why doesn't... I don't even... Okay, so why doesn't he kidnap Mario before he kidnaps Princess, and then he doesn't have to worry about Mario when he kidnaps the princess? And why did he have to kidnap Mario? I don't understand that. Why couldn't this game have been called fucking Bowser ruins the world and Mario has to... Why do you have to be Luigi? It was like, that's one of the many things that irritates me about this game so fucking much is they finally gave Luigi a sniff. Because this is way before the days of Luigi's Mansion
this is Luigi's
and all these
first
games.
Solo
this
game.
is like, hey, you know what? For 10 years, Luigi has been nothing but green Mario that little brothers had to play as. And they were like, okay, you know what? Let's give him the fucking spotlight. Let's make Luigi have a game. And they're like, all right, what kind of game should he have? How about a shitty one where you have to answer stupid questions and we'll play with broken platforming? What a fuck me. Oh, wait. When the artifact is restored in each world, a picture is taken of Luigi with the artifact and then it is placed in a photo album.
Yeah.
The player must then summon Yoshi to Luigi's current location so the dinosaur can eat a Pokey that is blocking the level exit leading back to Bowser's castle.
Yeah.
It's like they have all the pieces for like a fun... If you literally took everything else from this game except for having to answer stupid questions, but like Bowser came to the real world, and then his plan was for some reason he wants to melt the ice in Antarctica, and so he needs to buy enough stuff or steal enough stuff to sell to get hair dryers so he could do that, and he kidnapped Mario to try to stop him. All of that, and then you control Luigi and have to go save Mario in the real world. All that would be dope. In fact, that'd be incredible. That would have been a fucking 10 out of 10 masterpiece game. But if they'd taken the Mushroom Kingdom out and put in like a cartoon, like real world, that would have been so rad. But instead of doing all that, they were just like, hey, this Mario thing is hot. Let's cash in. What should we do with them? Well, let's fucking make Luigi answer some shitty questions. Like,
that would have been a sick game, though.
Of course it would have been. But it doesn't exist. It says development and release on the Wikipedia page. To capitalize on educational games, which were popular at the time. No, they weren't. Nintendo partnered with Radical Entertainment to create an educational Mario game.
They also made... Did you ever play Mario's Time Machine?
Yes.
It was like this, but it was worse somehow.
Fuck me, man. I hate it so much. I'm just reading about the reception of this game.
No, it wasn't good.
So ONM, I don't know what that is. Oh, official Nintendo. Oh, fuck. So ONM gave it 82 out of 100. And I'm like, who the fuck is ONM? Official Nintendo Magazine. Fist yourself.
This was their way to make us eat our vegetables and trick us into doing it.
Jesus. And to trick stupid... Like, you want to know the truth? Like, I know that I'm having some fun, like, getting angry. I really am a little bit pissed off about this. You know what bothers me the most about this game? Don't be like, well, we just wanted to help educate the children or anything. That's not what you did. You knew that Nintendo was fucking white hot. The Super Nintendo was white hot. You didn't have anything else with Mario on it to help sell games for a little while. So you churned out this garbage fucking shit education game that probably took about a month to make, so that all the parents, like your parents and my parents, would go to the store to get their game a kid for Christmas, see a new Mario game, and buy it. Like the article even says here, despite mixed reviews, the NES and SNES versions exceeded 7 million in profit. Of course it did, because you made it seem like we were buying a Mario game.
Yeah, they didn't say, like, the cover was, I don't know if you remember, it was Mario is missing, there's Bowser
I'm looking at it right now.
Mario. Yeah. And then there's Luigi looking for Mario. And nowhere in that does it say, oh, by the way, you're going to learn a lot about
fuck yourselves.
You're going to learn a lot about Tokyo in this, by the way.
If they tried to release a game like this today, they would get raked over the coals so hard, because the internet exists. So everyone would go online and be like, oh, there's a new Mario game. Like, imagine at E3 this year, fucking Nintendo comes out and they do the
they make a Mario, make it look like Mario Odyssey 2.
Mario shows up and he's like, let's go. And everyone's losing their shit and he's going through space and stuff. And then it turns out Bowser is in space and he's trying to fucking sell stars to aliens to buy enough hammers to destroy the moon. Yeah, it's Mario's Observatory, and you have to fucking answer space questions to stop. Like, people would fucking riot.
I actually kind of want to play this game, though.
Fuck off.
Mario's that you have to answer questions about space. You have to, like, learn about space and shit. You know what? They have proved in the past that Mario in space is a great idea, and it's been a while since they've capitalized on it. Let's make Mario in space happen. Mario Space Odyssey.
So angry. Fucking so stupid. Like, you know what? When this show inevitably ends, like someday it will. Like someday, hopefully it's not for a long time, but someday.
And the sun will explode one day.
Right, yeah. Either the sun will explode or Bowser will succeed and melt Antarctica or something will happen and I'll cancel this show. When it does, people will be like, hey, do you remember episode XX? Where they talked Mario is... I feel like that's the episode where the show jumped the shark. It was the Mario is missing episode. Because they barely even talked about the game. Mark just laughed at Adam getting angry. And that was just such a good mood when you came in. And I'm so glad... So we're doing a really nice game afterward. And I wish we had done that game first. Because now we're going to go to that game. And I'm not going to be able to give it the fucking credit that it deserves. Because I was so goddamn angry. Like... Fuck right off. It says here, Nintendo licensed the Mario characters, but was otherwise not involved in the game's development, nor was Mario creator Shigeru Miyamoto. And of course he wasn't. That's how you took a Mario game and couldn't figure out how to make jumps work. Fuck. I'm done. All right. I'm sorry for everyone that's listened to this episode. Like, we're at 23 minutes. And unless you've got more to say, I'm fucking ending this because I'm angry.
Go and listen to the soundtrack. The soundtrack's...
Oh, they'll have heard the soundtrack because I will have played it twice coming into this. And guess what? I might even say in the intro, hey, you can stop here. What a fucking shitty... And like the thing is they're talking about good educational games. They're comparing it to Carmen Sandiego. That is a good educational game.
Did you play Carmen Sandiego?
Yes, I did.
Dude, great game.
Great game. Great television show. Fucking rights. Where was that? Why couldn't we just play that? We don't need Mario to educate us. Oh, this game should have ruined Luigi forever.
But it didn't. In fact, every Luigi game since then has been a Mario is Missing sequel in sorts. Instead of going and finding like artifacts, now you're fighting ghosts and it's better.
Of course it's better because it's a game. There's action. You're not just answering stupid questions.
Oh my
Bowser
God.
weaponizes climate change to melt the ice of Antarctica, flooding the Earth so he can steal landmarks. That's the game plan. It says it's a super villainous plot and would cause the death of billions. That was Bowser's plan.
That would have been amazing if we saw any of that in the game.
If it was a real... Oh my God. All right. I'm done. I'm done. Let's score this. What do we fucking score this thing out of? You know what? We will literally score this out of 3.
Out of 3.
What would you give this game on a scale of and you can go under 0. On a scale of something to 3. What would you give Mario is Missing? And you were the one that was like, oh, I have such great memories of growing up playing Mario is Missing. You must have been the most depressed fucking child. Because I grew up playing this game too. And you know what I did? I played it for half an hour. And every time I fired it up, I was like, I'm going to finish it this time. And every time I fired it up, I would play it for like half an hour and then be like, this sucks. And then I would either play one of the good games I had,
But it was
or
like-
I'd go outside.
But it's like you said, when you were a kid, you got a game and that was the game you played.
I
So we
know.
saw it through to the end, damn
No, we
it.
did it. I've beaten Bart versus the Space Mutant several times, and that game is terrible.
Why?
Because at least there's action. I'm like, hey, at least I'm jumping. It's just like this one where when you try to jump on stuff, it never fucking works. But at least there's action. It's not fucking Lisa is missing, and Bart has to go through school and answer questions. You know what? I give this game, and I'm not even joking, legitimately, I give this game 0 out of 3. I've never given a 0 on this fucking show before.
I
0.
won't give a 0, but I'll give like a 0.3 out of 3.
For your precious soundtrack?
For the set, you know what? I'll bump it up to a 0.5 for the soundtrack. A 0.5 out of 3 because it is one of the best soundtracks on the NES.
I might just put this episode in the vault and end the show on it someday. Like episode 247, the last ever episode of Remember the Game, and we are talking I'll hype it up. It'll be one of those things where I'm just like, guys, we have an episode of The Bank that is so bad that like I don't know if I ever want to release it, and that's how I'll end the show. I'm not actually going to do that, but I fucking hate this game. Well, Mark, thanks for fucking coming over. It's like 40 below here in Edmonton. It is so fucking cold. And Mark was like, hey, you know what? I'm going to fucking make my way up to Adam's house in dangerously cold weather so that we can waste our fucking Saturday afternoon sitting around talking about something that's probably still triggers Adam to this fucking day. And it has, and it does, and it will.
There's clearly some issues here. Is everything okay at home, Adam?
No. Well, it is now because I don't own this fucking game anymore. Thanks for coming over, Mark.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening, guys. It'll be better next week. Or if this was the series finale, it was a good run. All right? Bye. That is going to do it for episode 88 of Remember the Game. Mark McCue, thank you for coming over. To all of you, thank you for listening. I hope that this episode was not too profanity-laced for you, and I hope that it helped distract you from the craziness that's going on in the world right now. So stay safe, stay clean. If you're on Spotify, Merry Christmas. There should be 39 bonus episodes popping up right away for you to listen to. And if you want access to even more bonus episodes, patreon.com/rememberthegame. I'm borderline begging you guys. It's only $2 a month. You get a ton of stuff. And if we can get it to $200 a month, I'll just start giving away the video game the winner wants every month. I'll go buy you the physical copy for your Xbox, your PlayStation, your Switch, and I will just mail it to you with a happy little note that says, I love you. Thank you for supporting the show. And if you're a video game store and you play us, yell at me. I'll send you some cards for a shout out, okay? Follow me on Twitter at @MemberTheGame. Follow me on Instagram at @MemberTheGame. I'll follow you back. Leave us a good review if you feel like it. I don't know if they've accomplished anything. Stay safe, you guys. I will be back in a few days with episode 89 as we climb on toward 100. Take it easy. Go play some video games, and I will talk to you later. Cheers.